When I used to record vocals for artists or even for myself, sometimes I would feel like if I was doing rap vocals, they would sit on top of the track, they wouldn't quite be sounding the way I want them to, and the style wouldn't match up to some of the top tier tracks that I enjoy listening to. But now, after learning a couple techniques that have really massively changed the game for me, I feel like my rap vocals really sit in the mix, they feel strong, confident, and I'm able to dial that in for multiple artists, whether it's my own voice or someone else's, basically every time. In this video, I'm going to break down some of my workflows, pretty much the vocal chain that I generally use, and show some of the most important keys to getting your rap vocals to just sit perfectly in a mix. And thanks to Synchro Arts for sponsoring this video. Let's get into it. So like I said, I just thought I'd film this video because I've been working on this particular track here. It's got some kind of rap vocals in, and this is something that I feel like always holds people back. I'm going to say at the top, don't just buy a vocal chain or like a vocal chain of presets. Like, that stuff is ridiculous. I've never seen such a scam in my life. It doesn't make sense, because with vocals, there are so many different variables that just copying a chain and expecting to sound like some other artist is like crazy. So what I'm going to show you, you don't have to get the exact chain, but understand the principles behind it and use some of the tools that make it easier to dial in what you want, and you'll be able to do something in your voice rather than just some generic ass chain to try and sound like me. So let me show you what I'm starting off with. It sounds like this. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front, have fun if we want, we ain't stop for that. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. I'ma take shots from afar like my name's Curry, and I ain't never missed since I put my name on it. We could get cool. And we're gonna jump straight into it, because the most important thing for rap vocals, well, one of the most important things, is actually correcting the source material. So you've got a decent take the artist has recorded in, you need to make sure your pitch is okay, which oftentimes, depending on the artist, we need to chuck auto-tune or not. In this particular case, I'm not really going to use auto-tune because I don't want some of the notes where I'm not singing to be all pitched up around the way. But what I do need to make sure I have is good timing. Right? Let me show you what that looks like. I'm gonna pull up Repitch. Repitch is super sick for this because it's gonna allow me to adapt my timing, move things subtly, or if I wanna do it quickly, I can just adjust it all to grid. And then I can actually take all of my other tracks and sync them to my lead vocal. Let me show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna make sure I've on this track, click capture, and we're just gonna record in. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front, have fun if we want, we ain't stop for that. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. I'ma take shots from afar like my name's Curry, and I ain't never missed since I put my name on it. Sweet. So now you can see I've got my take inside of Repitch, and it's the usual stuff. Like I say, when we're rapping, we don't need to be super careful about pitch, but if you are listening, we could get the girls in the... There's just a couple places where I was like, actually, I want to tweak that. So this one right here, bring it down. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front, have fun if we want. But this is where the secret sauce is that a lot of people be missing, right? So I'm going to switch from pitch mode to attack mode, right? So these gray lines here are showing the attacks of my particular vocal. Let's zoom in a touch. Now you have the option to adjust, as you can see, I've got it selected to bar beat. You can align all the tracks to grid and just have it snap for you. But I like to have some of them a little bit off grid, a little bit on grid. So I like to have a very manual control of this process. So let me show you what that looks like. We could get the girls in the... This one right here, girls in the... a little bit rushed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to listen through and kind of subtly tweak things to get them a little bit more where I want them to be. We could get the girls... Straight off the bat, I can bring this one a little bit earlier. We could get the girls in the club. We could get the girls in the... Bring this a little bit to that. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front, have fun. This one's a little bit early. Club, pull up at the front, have fun if we want. Have fun if we want. Bring this one right here. Club, pull up at the front, have fun if we want, we ain't stop for that. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. That all feels good to me. We ain't stop for that. If you gon' take time. Yeah, I'm gonna put the metronome on as well, just to make sure I've got a real good sense of where my groove is. We ain't stop for that. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make... Yeah, you can see these are lined up pretty nicely on... We ain't stop for that. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. Nice. I'm gonna bring this one back just a touch. We ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. So I just switched from, instead of seeing the attacks of the actual track, if you switch to bar beat, you'll be able to see the grid, so you can make some decisions and adjustments from there. We ain't stop for the. If you gon' take, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take. So I'm gonna pull this take back just a little bit to match up with that grid line. We ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Yeah, you can see that bar's a little bit early. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. I'ma take shots from afar like my name's Curry. And this far is a little bit early. Really nice. So you can see it's really transparent in terms of the processing. It's not super glitchy or anything like that. It's just going to sound really clean and really locked in. Cool. Awesome. So we've already got the timing sorted now. I kind of had a little look at the pitch as well. For the most part, it was only that one note where I'm kind of rapping that I have to think about that. But for pretty much everything else, it's all good. Timing I'm happy with. And now let me show you kind of a really cool hack that's super cool with Repitch. If I jump in and grab another instance, we're going to do the exact same thing and populate it like this. Capture. Never miss, I put my name on it. They're both visible from the same window, right? So I can see my original lead vocal track and I can see this track that we just recorded in here as well. I'm going to click attack. I'm going to click 25 audio, match it to 24 audio, just like so. So you can see I've got this one set with the grid lines from our previous track. If I align all attacks to grid, that's just going to automatically make sure it syncs up with the first track that we had. Never miss, I put my name on it. Easy. Same again. Make sure I arm the track right here. Click capture. Never miss, I put my name on it. Exact same process. Come to attack. Select 24 so I can align it to my lead vocal. Never miss, I put my name on it. Nice. Never miss, I put my name on it. Never know, it's just something. So now that feels super in time. The pocket is there. The actual lyrics themselves are grooving. Now I can kind of build on top of that with my other processes, right? We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I could do a little bit of de-essing. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. I'ma take shots from afar like my name's. Touch of compression, pretty much the usual stuff. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. I'ma take shots from afar like my name's Curry. And I ain't never missed since I put my name on it. And nowadays, I feel like modern music is moving towards a slightly brighter sound. You don't have to follow that, of course, but I particularly like the tones. The air kind of just allows the vocal to sit on top of the mix without it being super loud. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. Almost feels like exactly where I like it to be. There's just one little technique that I like to do. I'm gonna pull in a J37. So what we're gonna use the J37 for is it's quite a natural tape emulation, but I'm gonna bring up the volume of the delay, switch it to send return. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Create it as a return track. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we stop for the. So you've got that almost instantaneous delay level to it. I'm going to bring them down so it's even tighter. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we. You're thinking, right, this sounds dead. I don't know what you're thinking. Unlink them and then take benefit from a slight delay causing the Hass effect and pushing it out to the side. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the front. Have fun if we want, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. You gon' make. I really prefer that sound for rap vocals over like a reverb. I feel like a reverb can kind of soften some of the punch. You don't want it to be super dry and out the back. This one still feels like a room, but in a different way. It's cool. We could get the girls in the club, pull up at the the front. Have fun if we want, we ain't stop for the. If you gon' take time, I'ma make time. Jumping on the move, hit the race lines. We gon' make friends, I ain't gotta worry. I'm moving through the bar, I ain't in a hurry. I'ma take shots from afar like my name's Curry. And I ain't never missed since I put my name on it. So it's literally that easy, guys. Like obviously our compression, obviously our EQ, a little bit of cool tweaks with the delay and the brightness and all of those sort of things. But the main thing is the timing. Make sure you're locking in your rap vocals with the drum groove to make sure they've got the most bounce possible. And that's where you're gonna unlock kind of the incredible rap sound that you want to get. So yeah, guys, check out Repitch 2 if you want to cop that. I'll leave a link in the description. You'll be able to cop it on its own, or you'll also be able to get it as part of the Synchro Arts vocal production bundle, which comes with the Vocaline Pro as well. And then as always, if you want to check out Lander Studio Pro, you'll be able to get a whole bunch of things, including distribution, including a whole bunch of plugins and presets. Check that out as well, and using my code you'll be able to get 20% off with that. If you guys want more help seeing how I put these kind of techniques into practice on like a Bakar video, check this one right here.